Do you want a box full of wrestling merchandise delivered to you every month? Check out WrestleCrate in the description and use discount code TOMSENTME for a cheeky 10% off. Alright guys, Tom here and welcome to a new video, and today I'm bringing you my WWE Monday Night Raw review. If you guys could smash the likes, that would be absolutely brilliant. We've been getting so many subscribers on the channel recently, it's crazy. We've just surpassed 62,000 subs, which is bloody mental. So today guys, I'm bringing you my Monday Night Raw review. I do these all the time, you guys love them, but it only works if you guys comment your thoughts on Raw, because I'd really like to know what you guys thought. In my opinions, I really didn't like Monday Night Raw this week. For once, I watched it live, which if you live in the UK, you stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning to watch it. So I fell asleep around the second hour, so at 3 o'clock in the morning, pretty understandable, I fell asleep watching Monday Night Raw, which to be honest, usually happens watching Raw nowadays. I really was not a fan of Monday Night Raw this week. It had two awesome segments. I managed to watch the rest when I got up. You had the Mr. McMahon getting arrested. That was cool. Then you also had John Cena returning and having a match against Alberto Del Rio. Two great things on Monday Night Raw this week, but the rest of it absolutely sucked. So there was absolutely no substance to this Monday Night Raw. The start was good. The end was okay. The rest of it was just utter trash, and there was no reason to carry on watching. I just didn't want to watch it, and I fell asleep. So I'm going to make my way through the whole show. We're going to start from the start, make our way through to the main event. So the first segment was great. The best segment of the night, and it was the only good segment of the night, to be honest. Mr. McMahon getting arrested. What a way to kick off Monday Night Raw. Firstly, you've got Vince McMahon on television for free, which is absolutely awesome. He's always really funny to watch, really entertaining, and the crowd just soak it up. It's brilliant. You then had Roman Reigns come out, which is cool, yes. He didn't say any tater tots or any of that bullshit. Got straight to the point, really entertaining. Mr. McMahon getting arrested. That was great. Stephanie's reaction was really, really cool. Builds the tension up between the Authority and Roman Reigns. Did everything they wanted it to do. The crowd loved it. Everybody at home loved it. I could tell on Twitter. People were loving it. It was cool. What an explosive way to kick off Monday Night Raw. And then they did live updates outside the precinct during Raw. That was okay. Not sure we really needed that. But I really liked the mugshot that they uploaded later on in the show. That was absolutely hilarious. And yeah, it was a good segment. Awesome to see Vince McMahon. Roman Reigns didn't say too much, but no tater tots or any of that bullshit. He just goes in the ring, says what he wants, does what he wants, and that's exactly what they did in this segment. It was kind of cool that they played off the fact that Vince wasn't on Raw last week. Apparently he was getting some dental surgery for the Superman punch. I think they played that off quite nicely. Overall a cool segment. But from then on, everything just went downhill. So we're going to then move on to the next segment, which was Neville against Kevin Owens. A match which had great potential. Two great guys. Two amazing wrestlers. What did they do? Well, they didn't do anything. It ended in about 10 seconds. An amazing match. It could have been. But they ended it in 10 seconds with a roll-up. Ugh. Now, the beatdown after the match was absolutely awesome. It's nice to see Neville got the win because they really haven't done a lot with him in the last few weeks. But winning that Slammy proved that they should be doing a hell of a lot more with Neville. The fans love him. Maybe that's why they gave him the win here. They're saying like, wow, the fans actually do like him. Let's actually do something with him for once. So he won. He beat the former Intercontinental Champion with a roll-up in about 10 seconds. But it could have been a hell of a great match if they gave it 5 minutes. But the beatdown afterwards by Kevin Owens was good. Finally, they're doing something with Kevin Owens, because when he had the belt, he was just walking around and not doing much. But this is the Kevin Owens we love to hate. This was absolutely incredible. It was the first time he did it in the night. He then went and did it to Dean Ambrose. Absolutely no problems with this. This is a reason to like Kevin Owens, because when he had the belt, he turned up, had his match, really didn't do anything. There was nothing to like to him. There was no substance to his character. If he does this every night, freaking awesome. I want to see a little bit more of this. So maybe not too bothered it ended in a roll-up, because we could have had a great match, because what happened after was absolutely awesome, and I kind of felt sorry for Neville at the end of it. And the fact that we all thought the beatdown had finished, and then Kevin Owens comes back and attacks Neville for a second time. Awesome stuff, and I really like that. But the fact that it ended in a roll-up, we could have had a really good match on our hands. Maybe they'll do it next week. Who knows? So we then went on to Sasha Banks against Becky Lynch. Now the WWE were having a house show in Allentown at the same time as Monday Night Raw, which makes absolutely no sense. So you didn't even have the Divas champion Charlotte on Monday Night Raw. So they turned to Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch to do the job, and they didn't really do a very good job. This was a really crappy match. There was nothing to it. It was a bog standard Monday Night Raw match, and we know both of these divas could do a hell of a lot better. But what was kind of ironic was the crowd were chanting NXT at the start of the match, then they were chanting boring towards the end of the match, because nothing happened. They can do a hell of a lot better. It was utter trash. And 5 months into this gimmick with Team Bad, and it's still going. Nobody gives a shit. It's boring as hell. It's doing nothing for Sasha Banks. Just end Team Bad. It's doing absolutely nothing for anybody. Everybody's bored of it. I'm sick of seeing Naomi and Tamina especially getting way too much TV time. Just let Sasha Banks do her own stuff. I mean, Jesus. It's literally been 5 months or so, and the Team Bad gimmick is still going. Ridiculous. It's crazy. But this match could have been a hell of a lot better. There was nothing to it. It sort of made sense with Becky Lynch losing because it proves that she can't win without the help of Charlotte or cheating in some way. Sort of worked, so it was slightly predictable in that aspect. The ending was kind of cool, where there was kind of like a nice little segment at the end of the match where we weren't sure where it was going to go. There's a few roll-ups, a few submissions, the bank statement, but at the end of the day, kind of meaningless match, and the match could have been a hell of a lot better. And this was 2 matches so far on Monday Night Raw in the night, and 2 roll-ups. So we were on to about the first hour had already gone at this point, and the only thing we'd seen is 2 roll-ups. Their heads must have gone in creative at the meeting. What the fuck? The next match was Callisto against Kofi Kingston. Awesome match. Just wasn't given enough time, and guess what? It ended up in a roll-up again. 3 matches, 3 roll-ups. Can they not think of anything else to end a match? Why didn't you just give the win to Callisto? Makes no sense. But Callisto beat Kofi Kingston in a really exciting match. I want to see these guys go at it for 10 minutes because it definitely had potential. They gave it more time than Neville against Owens, but they still didn't give it enough time. This would have been absolutely awesome to get a 10-minute match between Callisto and Kofi Kingston. Really fast-paced. Not sure if they could have kept up the pace for 10 minutes, but it was cool, and I definitely want to see this match again. But in the grand scheme of things, really doesn't mean anything. Not sure where the tag team division is going well, when they go to the Royal Rumble, where is the tag team division going? They really need to give us something to grab onto, because I have no idea at this point. Because then we had a match between Big E against Cara, and instead of giving the win to the Lucha Dragons this time, they gave it to the New Day, which made sense. So 1 win for the Lucha Dragons, 1 win for the New Day. Props to Sin Cara, who took a huge bump outside during the match and still carried on. They should probably have ended the match as soon as that happened, but he carried on, which is absolutely fantastic workmanship from him. The match was okay. Really doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. They should have given more time to the Callisto and Kofi match rather than this match. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't mean anything and was a bit of a filler match. They were always shooting themselves in the foot due to the slim roster they had because they had the house show on at the same time. So I can understand why they did this, but really doesn't mean a lot in the grand scheme of things. Also, the number 1 segment which didn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things was Miz TV. I have no idea what they were advertising here. They were like, oh, we've got Miz TV up with Miz, but what were they actually supposed to be talking about? I had no idea. This is when I started to switch off from Monday Night Raw. It all ended with loads of people coming out, which made absolutely no sense. The only entertaining thing was when R-Truth came out and said, vote for me in the Slammy Awards, when in fact they were last week. But he was laughing at himself saying it, so it wasn't convincing whatsoever. It's the 3rd time they've done something with R-Truth, and the laughs weren't very loud. It was sort of funny, but at the end of the day, it's the 3rd time he's done it, and they're running out of ideas, clearly. And this segment just ended with Big Show declaring himself in the 2016 Royal Rumble match. This isn't 2004 anymore, guys. Who gives a damn if Big Show is in the Royal Rumble match? And why would he enter as number 1? Makes absolutely no sense. I really don't want to see the Rumble match start with Big Show. Ugh, this isn't 2004 anymore. So it ended with Ryback and Big Show tussling and Ryback being thrown outside the ring. So we then got a match between Ryback against Big Show. This is really where Raw went downhill because Big Show walks out and it ends in count out. Huh? What the hell? Are they trying to make Raw bad? And also, does anybody else have this feeling? Whenever you hear Ryback's music, do you just say, I don't give a shit? Because, oh my god, this guy, he just doesn't, he never does anything. He's just, ugh, come on. I'm just so bored of Ryback at this point. I'm even more bored with Big Show, but to end it in a count out, considering we've seen this match so many times in the past before as well, to end it in count out, are they trying to make Raw bad? Jesus Christ, that was like the worst thing they did in the whole night. The next match was the League of Nations against Dean Ambrose and the Usos. How does this develop anybody's characters at all? It doesn't. Huge waste of time. Was given way too much time as well. I mean, this match went on for, what, 10, 15 minutes? It wasn't good at all. Absolutely boring. I understand the League of Nations should be going over here because they've really just formed in the last few weeks. They could do with a big win against an Intercontinental Champion and a former Tag Team Champions, the Usos. I understand the League of Nations should have gone over here, but does anybody really care about the League of Nations? It's 4 guys nobody gives a shit about. They're being given way too much TV time. They're annoying as hell. The gimmick is retarded. Who gives a crap? I mean, the last hour of the show was all about the League of Nations, and nobody cares. No, why are they even on TV? Oh my god. My brain. But after the match, Kevin Owens did attack Dean Ambrose. Looks like an absolute badass. A reason to love Kevin Owens is exactly what he did here. We love to hate the guy, and this is exactly what they did here. That was cool, building the matchup between Ambrose and Kevin Owens. But then again, we saw Kevin Owens against Ambrose at Survivor Series. We saw Kevin Owens against Ambrose at TLC. Are we going to then see it again at Royal Rumble? Really? Can they not think of anybody else to face Dean Ambrose for the title? Anyway, this match went on for way too long. It was fucking shit. It ended with a bro kick. Really predictable finish. Ugh. I fell asleep at this point. This is the match I fell asleep at. Ugh. Who gives a shit? The next match and the last match was awesome because we saw John Cena come back. We've definitely missed John Cena. This Raw was definitely evidence that we've missed John Cena because as soon as he came out, it made it a hell of a lot better. So, for some reason, they didn't advertise this match against Del Rio for the United States Championship. Everybody assumed it was for the United States Championship. But then, they turned it into a United States Championship in the segment. Why didn't they just advertise it as being for the United States Championship last week? Because then, people would have tuned in to watch John Cena against Del Rio for the United States Championship. I mean, at the start of the show, it was clear it wasn't for the US Championship because they weren't mentioning the title whatsoever. So why didn't they just start advertising it as soon as they announced the match? Why didn't they say, this is for the United States Championship, this is for the United States Championship? Why did we have to wait until the actual match to find out it's for the United States Championship? Surely it's good business to advertise a title match right when you announce the match. This made absolutely no sense. So we did actually eventually get the United States Championship defended in the match. I don't know why they didn't announce it at the start. That made absolutely no sense, but it's the WWE. Most things on this show did not make sense. But at the end of the day, the match was okay, but it was just way too predictable, and they just completely ruined the match. I mean, yes, we've got a main event with John Cena for the United States Championship to end Monday Night Raw, the last Raw of the year. What do? End in disqualification. Yay! Woohoo! What a great idea. This just summed up Monday Night Raw in a nutshell. What the fuck? It was predictable that was going to happen. It was not entertaining whatsoever. Who wants to see that? What? The League of Nations probably have like a month's lifespan until they just fail and they go their separate ways. Why are they spending their whole time building Sheamus up, who just dropped the belt because he just wasn't good enough? You've got Bad News Barrett, who hasn't done anything since getting buried by Cena in 2011. You've got Rusev, who just came out of a love triangle feud which nobody cared about. And then you've got Alberto Del Rio, who's probably one of the worst United States champions we've ever seen and has just come off one of the worst gimmicks ever with Zeb Coulter. And they end Monday Night Raw attacking John Cena in the main event. That makes no sense. Who thought this was a good idea? So, at the end of it, you have Jimmy and Jay and the Usos come out. Yay, what the fuck. And then you have Roman Reigns come out, who uses John Cena's popularity to get over. Now, a few months ago, everybody would have booed this, but now Roman Reigns had that awesome segment with Triple H and has the title now. Everybody cheered this segment because Roman Reigns saved the day. Doesn't make any sense. I'm a fan of Roman Reigns, but the fans that were cheering would have booed this exact segment 2 months ago. Wrestling fans are really weird, but at the end of the day, this Raw absolutely sucked. There was absolutely nothing to it. The first segment was cool. The last segment had potential, but it was ruined by the League of Nations. Everything in the middle was rubbish. No good wrestling matches, apart from Callisto and Kofi, which was given about 2 minutes. So at the end of the day, this Raw was absolutely trash. We did get an announcement from Vince McMahon at the end of the show that he was going to be the special guest referee in a match between Roman Reigns and Sheamus next week. But who wants to see Roman Reigns against Sheamus again? No. So they tried to give us a reason to watch Raw next week. I will watch Raw next week, but I'm really not bothered about that match. Roman Reigns is walking out with a title. Anyway, I'm going to give this Monday Night Raw a 5 out of 10, which has probably been pretty generous. If you guys enjoyed this video, it'd be great if you could smash the likes. Also, if you see the Twitter and Facebook logo at the bottom, follow me on Twitter and Facebook, because my Facebook page has almost got 40,000 likes, which is crazy. Take care, spike your hair.